Welcome to Between the Lines. We've been on repeats for a while for nuclear energy, for AI, and a lot of other things. And now we're back with a whole year. We're going to have show after show after show. We're starting with one of my favorite local politicians. Well, she's back there, but number two, no, they're equal, really. Denise Palmer. And I want you to listen tonight because we're going to talk about county commission, a lot going on. And if you follow counties across, I have clients all over the state. There's a lot of debate about how much to pay sheriffs. Knoxville decided to give them 6%, 3%, and then another 3% on top of that, taking it from the schools. That's become a MO for a lot of counties. Our county debated it last week, and we're going to talk about it a little bit, and we're going to get into it. Denise has been the chairman for how long, Denise?
10 months.
Oh, less than a year, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got put in last September.
Yes.
And you're part of the that first female crew in history, right? We've never had a county commission in Tennessee where you have a female parliamentarian, female vice chair, and a female chair. Who's the vice chair?
Shelley Vandegrift.
Shelley is?
Mm-hmm.
I always think of her as opioids or one of those other committees she serves on, but she's a good one.
Shelley's been vice chair for, I think, 3 years now.
Yeah, she's
Yeah,
good. I love
she's
Shelley.
great.
She's a great person.
Yeah.
Love her kids, love her husband. Concrete man, I call him.
Yeah.
So people work for a living deserve respect. Anyway, so we're going to talk tonight. I want to know a little bit about what's going on. We're at the end of June. The budget expires in a week. We haven't seemed to get it fully resolved. Most counties haven't. And now we're looking, I think Knoxville got there by sacrificing. But our sheriff's department, who I like, because I like Russell and I like the job they do, they're trying to fix it really quick. They're asking for a lot of money. And I think most of you guys have tried to accommodate them and work out deals. And so that's kind of the highlight. But there's a lot of other things too. School budgets, needs for raises. It's kind of a challenge everywhere. And you all have kind of a unique challenge there. And there's some things going on we need to talk about. A lot going on in Claxton, a lot going on in other areas of the county that need help. Oak Ridge has been kind of quiet. We hide over here.
Yeah.
Well, we have a great Phil Yeager, probably one of the smartest guys that ever sat on commission.
Absolutely.
He is so smart.
Yeah.
But he's a finance man. I think he retired at 14 or something. He was so smart. But he's great. Okay, so what are the biggest challenges facing, and we're going to talk about different things, but just while we do an intro, what are the biggest challenges facing Anderson County government? And I think there's been less controversy about the mayor. She just won re-election.
Yes.
Seems to be very popular among traditional Republicans and all the other people, and a lot of people respect her. And I think you, Sabra, and a few others are that same fiscal conservative nature.
Yes.
You don't want to raise taxes.
No.
I think it's interesting because everybody wants money, but nobody wants to suggest raising taxes. They want
Right.
somebody else to pay for it, right?
Right.
So, and I'm not sure whether a tax increase is ever the answer, but it's certainly not at this point, I don't think. You just got to keep, what's the problems? I mean, if we had a lake that needed $5 million to repair a bank or something like that, I get it. I get that. I have to pay sometimes. Tornadoes go
Sure.
through your town.
Sure.
You got to raise taxes to get some extra revenue in there. I just don't see those kinds of emergency statuses. Everything seems to be centered around pay increases.
Yes. Yes.
So what, as a chairman, and I know from my wife being on commission with you and talking to everyone, that you've had immense pressure on you from different people because everybody wants their own way in this thing.
They
Welcome.
do.
That ain't new, by the way. That's just our good friend Rex Lynch, he had to
Yeah.
go through some of that too. But how do you see the overall state of the budget and the state of the county at this point?
Well, we are in a really good place as far as cash and fund balance. We have designated money, funds for an EOC center.
Now, help people. We're not acronym type people.
Okay, Emergency Operations Center
Yes.
for the emergency
Did
management.
we get a grant on that part?
We did. We got
I
a huge
remember
grant
that,
on that. And so that's coming down the pike. We've got funds set aside for that.
Where are they going to build that? And down in the hole where they did?
It's up toward I-75 at
Okay.
is it Frank Diggs Industrial
Oh, yeah.
Park
Okay, I
up
know
in
what
that
you're talking
area?
about,
And so,
Right across from the high school, folks.
across
yeah.
from Anderson County High School. So
Yeah.
that's coming down the pike. An EMS training center, that's going to be more up in District 3 area, 441.
And you look at all of the things the federal government has done by leadership of SPNS and others out here, tactical responses to nuclear accidents and
Right.
fire accidents and stuff. and the training center that was built on the way to Kingston. There's been a lot of people in that area that are in that area of training and safety and stuff.
Right.
That we have that big. That's a $2 or $3 million.
Well, the growth of the county, the growth of the industry that's coming into Oak Ridge and Rome County, the nuclear industry, and we just need to have our emergency management services shored up and ready to go. And part of what we need to do is plan ahead. We need to prepare. We know growth is coming. We need to prepare for that. We need to make sure we have our public safety services in place, and that's some of the challenges. And so we have taken some steps and dedicated some funds for different things. The sheriff's request this time is huge.
Large, yeah.
And it is.
But he's not unique in that.
No,
There's a lot of
he's
counties
not.
that way.
And absolutely, those guys deserve it. They do a great job, and we want to make sure that our sheriff's department is well funded, well trained, and ready to serve. The problem is we just don't have the funds now, and we've got to find that revenue from somewhere.
But it seemed like a couple years ago, I don't remember, who was chairman before you?
Tyler Mace.
Yeah, Tyler was on here. It seems to me that revenues were growing with internet taxes, that were getting bigger.
It is.
So is it not keeping up enough to put
Well,
more money in it?
the sales tax, it's not, I don't think it's a problem with revenue. The issue is the way we have it allocated right now. So we need to reallocate some of those funds to feed into the general fund, which is where the sheriff's department is located, but not just the sheriff's
EMS?
department, but EMS and
Equally
the
important
fee
work, yes.
Yeah, the fee offices, and there were a lot of requests this time, and so it is a difficult job. All of these people do a great job. They do good work, and they deserve. But it's like your own household. If you don't have it, you don't have it. And so, and sometimes you have to move money around to.
That's not necessarily true in all households. Some households will find a way to get it done even without them. Okay, go ahead.
Well, and I think that I think our mayor, our sheriff, our DA, our EMS, they have gone out and pursued grants.
Yes.
And we have got, I have a paper here with all of the grants that we have secured over the year. It's like $21 million worth of grants. And so, everyone's doing what they can to get that money, to secure money, and the EOC and the, let me see if I have that here.
It was a list of grants. I saw it in there earlier.
Yeah, it's in that.
I was wondering how much it's changed since I wrote grants for the county. I mean, it's just, of course, that's 20-something years ago. But
Sure. So, I think everyone's doing a great job trying to secure grant money and trying to get, some of our services shored up. And it's just difficult right now. We have more going out than we have coming in. And sales tax continues to rise. And
sales tax revenue?
Revenue continues to rise.
That's limited in focus to the
Yep.
schools and a few other things.
Right. So,
I just can't, with all this money coming in, and I've been watching it, everybody just complains. I just don't know. We had a few years there when nobody was really complaining a lot. So I really don't know.
well, you have to remember too, we had a lot of ARP money.
Oh, that's right.
And so that was nice. That was a gift. And so we've gone through that ARP money, and we have no more of that. And so now we've got to live with the revenue that we
Yeah.
have coming in. And
Yeah.
we've got to be good stewards of that.
Yeah, and there's always a sharing of, like, conservative governments never give out a lot of money, and it's kind of like, I don't know, it's just kind of like you're supposed to generate it on your own or cut back, et cetera, but it's getting harder. You can't mandate requirements and then tell me I've got to pay for it.
Right.
So everything leads back to property tax increases, and nobody wants one.
No,
If we learned anything in the Knoxville races, it was that will destroy you quickly.
exactly.
I mean, it's just not, that property taxes aren't the answer.
Well, and look, our people are.
Sales taxes are better because they people outside the county have to pay.
Right. And tourism. Tourism is a good way, when we bring people into our
They're in the
lakes.
chamber building, right?
No, she is located above where Barry Stevenson's.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's
Yes,
right. I knew it was
yes.
over there somewhere. That's right.
Stephanie does a great job.
She was there back when we were there. I mean, she's been
Yeah,
there a long time.
she's been there a long time. She knows her stuff. She promotes the park. She promotes Norris Lake and all the things there. Windrock Mountain. I mean,
those are the low-hanging fruits. I mean, the people like that.
Yes.
And I like Scotty's ingenuity in New River. You know, he turned that old hotel into that old school into a hotel, so
Sure.
people that come in to ride get better discounted
Sure.
rates.
We
There's things to
also
do.
have just agreed upon a rails to trails there in New
I don't
River.
understand what that means.
Okay, so
We're taking the railroad and turning it into
yes,
what kind
R.J.
of trails?
Foreman. It will be like a crushed gravel, natural,
For
non-motorized,
not four-wheels.
not four-wheelers, bikes, bicycles, walking, hiking. I think there's about 7 miles in Anderson County that would be considered, and we have not agreed upon anything yet. We just signed a resolution to pursue for
Where the railroads go, and I used to work on that at the county, where the railroads go, and they go all the way up to Kentucky and Scott County and up back all the way down.
Mm-hmm.
But all those places they go when they leave New River and some of the old trains, we turn those into hiking trails, is what you're saying.
Yes,
And that
yes.
takes a conversion project. You got to remove the rail.
Right. So some of the folks in New River, some of the elected officials or public officials have gone on a tour to Damascus, Virginia, to the Virginia Creeper. So for folks who have been there, it would be like that. It would be an equivalent to a Virginia Creeper or the Eureka Trail down in Athens. And they have really, it doesn't really change the landscaping. It's all natural, but it's, you know, there's not much of a footprint, much of a change, except that it could bring, you know, visitors there and Scotty's store and other businesses to pop up. So it's, yeah, it could be a great thing.
I talked to Fed, well, that's right. You just got, maybe some private money needs to get in there too. But I mean, I talked to, I think Mayor Frank has an excellent relationship with a lot of federal and state people.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
I know
yes.
from talking to the governor's office
Yes.
and Congressman Weissman's office and others and even Roane County officials that Terry, I heard me call her Mayor every time, but Terry just has an ability to dialogue on those issues and knows how important those are.
She does.
But if they're going to give away money, grants or otherwise, et cetera, we need to be in line.
In line, that's exactly right. She has been able to secure some grants for our parks. We have a new Claxton Park that will be,
That's a whole segment.
yes, so that will be coming in the near future, but also just some investment into Lost Bottom Park, Gibbs Ferry Park. We've been able to get some private donations from.
You talking about on the way to Oak Ridge, Gibbs Ferry?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. So a lot of good things happening with our parks, and a lot of that's the, you know, the work of our mayor pursuing grants.
Do we have any sort of parks or things that the county runs and operates that are inside the city limits of Oak Ridge? Is there some shared parks there, like the
no.
lake and stuff? No, Oak Ridge also,
No.
anything? Okay.
No, I think, you know, we've partnered with like Pellissippi Blueway and some organizations like that to secure money, but no, I don't think there's anything in the city of Clinton or the city of Oak Ridge.
Okay, we'll take a short break, and then I want to talk a little bit about everything that's going on in Claxton, because there's been a lot and just some shared information. I don't want to get in the middle of all that, but, you know, but I think that we need to hear and talk about some of the issues.
Okay.
Because really a lot of people don't understand that one school closes, a new one opens, and all this kind of stuff. So Chandler, take us to break. We'll be back in about 3 minutes. Thank you guys for watching.
American competitiveness runs on innovation, and ORNL helps deliver it. We accelerate the path from research to real-world applications, working with industry to reduce costs, boost efficiency, and bring next-generation technologies to market. It's ORNL science that strengthens the economy and builds opportunity across the nation.
From Oak Ridge, Tennessee, IB3 Global Solutions conducts operations around the world to enhance the U.S. national security posture and minimize radiological and nuclear threats. IB3 Global Solutions. Mission first.
This is Joe Heckman, President of Waste Management at Energy Solutions. Nuclear power is on the rise. Energy Solutions is part of this transition and part of the solution, delivering comprehensive services and assets that support the entire nuclear life cycle. Energy Solutions is protecting and preserving the environment for generations to come.
At Navarro, we partner with our clients to advance technologies and deliver effective solutions for complex challenges in the nuclear, environmental, and clean energy fields.
America runs on power, and for nuclear power, we need enriched uranium, but almost all of it comes from overseas. In 2019, the Trump administration took action, working with Centrus to build the first new American-owned uranium enrichment plant in 70 years. And now, Centrus is ready to expand to meet our nuclear power and military needs, free from dependence on foreign suppliers. Centrus, American technology built by American workers.
Feeling overwhelmed with your business finances? At P&L Business Services, we handle all your bookkeeping, payroll, and tax needs. From federal tax returns to QuickBooks training, we've got you covered. With over 25 years of experience, we provide customized packages to fit your business. Focus on what you love most, building your business. Let us take care of the rest. Call 865-294-4792. P&L Business Services, empowering you to grow your business.
At ORNL, national security is a mission powered by science. We safeguard critical infrastructure, develop isotopes for health and defense, and protect the digital frontiers of tomorrow. In a world of emerging threats, we deliver breakthroughs for America that protect lives, systems, and the future.
Welcome back. We're with Denise Palmer, the first, by all our calculations, the first woman to ever be the chairman of the Anderson County Commission, at least in our lifetimes, which is 40, 50 years. I doubt there was somebody there if they didn't do it that far back. So that's a big achievement. And that's unbelievable. That is, because I've known Denise for 25 years. We're not the same age, but we have known each other for 25 years. Anyway, we're laughing about different things. So anyway, we share one night. We both put up with Sabre, right? I mean, we both know her. I mean, we work with her all the time.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah, calm, never gets
Very
riled
calm,
up, never gets
never,
riled up.
never.
Yeah, she's good.
You have to love her passion.
I mean, she's great. I keep trying to push her to do more and more. She said, I hate it. I don't want to do it. I don't have time, blah, blah, blah. And then she goes harder than anybody, right?
Yeah. Oh,
Nobody works more than she does.
Yep.
She comes every TCA code. She knows everything. But she's not the point of the show today. Let's talk about Claxton. There's a lot going on in Claxton. We have schools, we have the park, we have the civic building, and I know a little bit about a lot of it and not a lot about any of it. So the school, where do we start over there? Let's talk about the park. My understanding is TVA has given a check to Anderson County.
Yes.
And they have purchased that area, including the civic building or not?
So there's a lot of exciting things happening in Claxton in
I wanna hear
District
it.
1. That park is going to be fabulous. TVA did give a $250,000 donation. A couple weeks ago, Type 1 Fusion is going to give a $50,000 donation. We do not have that.
And both of those is to enhance the area where the playground was and the
Yes,
ball field.
yes. Well, no, where the playground was located, the park will not be in that same location. That's been turned back over to TVA. That's
Okay.
TVA.
They want that property, right?
Right. So we have to relocate. So the Conservation Board is they maintain a 7-park system in Anderson County.
I understand.
And so this will be the 7th one. And we have looked for property in the Claxton community because we promised that it would stay in the Claxton community. Kids Palace was removed, and so we need another one there in Claxton. So, of course, you have the old school property. We now have a task force. that will meet, and I think the first meeting is on Monday.
Okay.
And so that's school board members, of course, the Claxton representatives and commissioners, and we're going to talk about, what we can do to sell that property. The schools are counting on that property, at least $4 million out of that property.
Now, which property?
The old Claxton School, where the
Okay,
old school
okay,
is,
okay.
yes. So we have about, I think, in
Is that
all these.
with destroying the building, just the land, or they want to keep the building?
And
How are
4
they
million
bidding?
for it?
Yeah.
Well,
You'd have to have the building, probably.
probably,
I don't
yeah.
know.
I
But anyway,
mean,
that area, they want that much
right,
land.
right.
Okay.
I think the task force will make those decisions,
makes sense. That
and
makes sense.
so I don't really know where that will be going. But, I'm glad to see that there's several people. It's not one person making the
So
decision,
you
several people.
sell the property, hypothetically, the county sells
Mm-hmm.
the property. Do the schools own the property or Anderson County? It doesn't really matter because they're all subservient to the
Exactly.
same deal. But the bottom line is, so you get that $4 million in.
Yes.
How much of that is needed to build a new school? How much?
Well, they need 4 million to make up. Dr. Parrott has a plan on, we have a bond. I think it's a 30, I hate to quote numbers because I get them all
That's okay.
jumbled up, so don't hold me to this. $32 million building. We have a bonds. We've taken out a bond. We have to sell that property for at least $4 million to make up the difference,
Make
right?
up the plan, okay.
Yeah, to go with Dr. Parrott's plan. And he has been working, they've already paid a lot. He gave us a report Monday night
But basically, they'll
much-
have a long-term loan.
Sure,
and everything.
sure.
Okay, I got
And
it.
so, the community wants to see certain things, the county wants to see certain things, the school wants to see certain things. So this task force is going to be the place where that's all discussed and worked
And
out.
what kind of important things will they have to discuss? I mean, will they have to discuss? What I'm hearing a lot of is that they're still trying to make things happen that have already happened, and they want to reverse or input certain things. But I don't know. I mean, we always had that problem.
Well, there's a lot of things that are circulating out there.
That's right. I think we're trying to look for some clarity. here.
Right, right. And the truth of the matter is, the first meeting's Monday night.
And they will have power to do what? This group?
Well, they'll make recommendations.
They're an advisory group.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're a task force. They're charged with a specific task, and that is to do what is in the best interest of the community and the county, and make a recommendation to commission and to
Make
the
a
school board.
recommendation for ideas or things, or make a recommendation of how they should spend the money.
This is going to be on selling that old Claxton School property.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a big
It has to be, it's part of the plan.
So it has to be in line with what the schools want,
Yes, yes. Well, yes, and what the community wants.
what the budget needs, and what the school.
Right, right. And
Is there a
what-
sticking point on that? Did you hear anything? I
No,
don't-
not really.
Okay.
And you hear a lot of, I try to tune all of that out. You hear a lot of rumors and a lot
Sure,
of stuff. So, I think we'll have a clearer picture after this task force starts meeting.
Yes.
There's some things that we can do. We can do a request for quote, send some things out there, see, who might be interested in the property. There's just some things that can be done, and this committee or this task force will make those
Do
recommendations.
you have a time frame for the task force to finish and get you a
Yeah, I
recommendation?
mean-
I think I heard, I haven't been to a meeting in 10, 12 years, and all of a sudden I'm going about 1 out of 8 every 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
But there was something that they were talking about, how this needed to get done by a certain time because they had to close the deal in
Right,
schools and
right.
stuff.
So we have to, they're looking at selling the property this year,
Okay.
6 months.
Sure.
They're looking at maybe partner or finding someone who may be interested in purchasing the property, but allowing the schools to keep school there for, from January until May, the end of school, so half a semester.
This coming year.
This, of 27, going into 2027, January to May.
So another 6 months. But
So they
okay.
still need to finish the school year. So, but we really need to try to get that property sold at the end of this year. So that's going to create some challenges.
So if I'm a parent, and when do somebody gives you $1 billion without
Mm-hmm.
financial concerns, and they make the deal, and Dr. Parrott gets his deal done, and it's finance, everything. When would my fourth grader get to start in Claxton's new school?
Fall of '27.
Okay, so they're going one more year in the old school,
Right.
and then the fall of '27, they're going to figure that out.
Yes.
Okay,
That is the plan, barring
to
no,
close the deal by
yes.
whenever.
Yeah. And there's always things that can creep up. They could, who knows, they
They
can
pro-
dig
you
up,
know, to be
hit
fair, they
rock,
needed a new
whatever.
school.
Yes.
They did.
I think, I remember Dr. Parrott saying it is the oldest school.
It
that
can't
they-
be older than Dutch Valley.
Well,
I mean, maybe, I don't know.
maybe, but it is one of the oldest.
There's
and
some
it was
oldest rural
time.
schools back there in Marlow.
And there's going to be a STEM focus at Claxton Elementary School. There's a lot of cool things that they're
Well,
doing.
and that's
at
probably a
school.
wise idea considering Clinton Highway and
Absolutely.
North Knoxville and the industrial side of
Right,
that technology.
right.
I think that's good. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
What about what about the building? It's on the old playground area there that we all go to for meetings and community center.
Oh, at
Used to be the church.
The church, okay.
Who gets that?
I think that's under the Optimist Club.
They let them keep it? TVA did?
I'm not sure what
Yeah, I
the
don't
arrangement
know
is
either.
between TVA and the Optimist Club.
Been to a lot of
Yeah.
events out there, so it's not a bad
Yeah,
place.
yeah, they do. They meet there a lot.
Tracy's been there a long time and knows the community well. How's Chad doing?
Oh, he's doing great.
Is he?
He's doing great,
I
yeah.
mean, he is a passionate guy. He's lived there
Yes,
for quite a while.
yeah.
And that's it. And I've met Mr. Phillips, who's another one that could be at
Mm-hmm.
Claxton, Rep, two of the three, and he seems very knowledgeable and he seems very involved. So there's three good
Engaged.
candidates there. People just got to make a choice.
Absolutely, absolutely.
That's not our job.
No,
Well, you live in
not my
Clinton, I live in Oak
district.
Ridge. No, it ain't there. You got good options there. What's the, okay, let's take a break because we're about to run. We could do one more subject. We can do one more area before we go.
Okay.
Tell me about Bull Run out at the Bull Run site. Is there anything going on out there with the Type 1?
Well, I just drove by there today, and it seems like every week or so that I go through there, they've taken more of the old TVA Bull Run property building down. Type 1 Fusion is there. They continue to move forward, and Patrick Ellis is a gentleman there that I deal a lot with and I talk to. I see him at all the events,
Yeah.
and so yeah, they're rocking and rolling.
Yeah, and I'm in the industry. That's what I do for a living. But basically, we've run on fission forever. Basically,
Right.
And fusion's a new technology, which by producing it, it expended more energy than it created, so it wasn't really a viable option. But now we've gone past that, and
Yes.
we're now creating more energy, or
Yeah.
at least some more. And the Chinese are big in it, and others, so we're having to get bigger in it. And the funding for fusion research and everything has climbed dramatically. So they're trying prototypes with Type 1 and other things, and I think it's going to be a booming industry in the next 5 to 10 years. And
Well, and it's the first one in the United States, correct, or in Tennessee, or a fusion plant like
reactor?
this? Yes,
I
at the
don't
commercial
know.
level?
You can, if you paint it yellow, you can say it was the first yellow fusion plant. I really
Yeah.
don't know. There's a lot of fusion going on, but
Yeah.
it does have some kind of, I don't deal in that specific sector.
Yeah.
I think that there's some excitement about it because it's the first one, I think, to try to produce and work with fusion directly. So
Yeah.
it's certainly a big asset to the community.
It absolutely is. It's exciting, and of course, that Edgemore Road will be 4-lane one day. I don't know if
One
we'll
day.
see that
We've been trying.
in our lifetime, but they are talking about, that's going to be happening. I think they've talked with some people that have houses along through there and negotiating, purchasing some of those homes. And so, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of great things happening. I think that's going to be one of our big growth areas in the near future. I think it is now, but I think it's going to be a big growth
So
area.
much growth in the West Oak Ridge
Oh,
and
yeah.
Rowan County.
Oh, yeah. And it's just
trying
going to
get some-
move right up through Edgemore, off Pellissippi up Edgemore
Oh, no
Road.
question.
Yeah. Yeah,
I mean, it'll
it's
be
great.
20 years in the making, but it's going to get more and more. And the West just doesn't need anything. It's just
Mm-hmm.
it's just so, what's the word? There's so much going on, so many plants, so much stuff. And you got to give credit to Congress and Chuck Fleischman. I mean, that money just keeps
Absolutely.
coming in for development.
Yes.
And it usually follows the
Yes.
chairman of the appropriations. So he's got a lot going on. And,
Yeah.
man, he's energetic. He's into everything.
It's
so.
exciting, and as Oak Ridge is successful, that just
It's
helps the
unbelievable.
county and helps us to be successful as well, so.
And it's no secret on the show. He's a good friend of mine. He'll be in here in a week or two and to talk about everything, et cetera, et cetera. But him and Sabre are like,
Yeah, yeah.
They do.
You know, when I went to DC
I remember
to
that.
meet him, that's the first thing he said is, "How's Sabre doing?"
Yeah, he does
I
that
said,
all the
"She's
time.
doing great."
Not Alan, but Sarah.
Yes.
It was like even one of the senatorial candidates, which we know both well, and,
Yeah.
not to take away from Monty, there's 3 candidates, but somebody said something to one of them about me and Sabre, and they said, "Oh, that's great, especially Sabre." I mean,
Yeah,
that's the way
yeah,
it is, you know.
yeah.
She's popular everywhere
Yeah.
in the state. Okay, let's take a break. We'll come back and go on and talk about some more stuff that's going on in Anderson County.
American competitiveness runs on innovation, and ORNL helps deliver it. We accelerate the path from research to real-world applications, working with industry to reduce costs, boost efficiency, and bring next-generation technologies to market. It's ORNL science that strengthens the economy and builds opportunity across the nation.
From Oak Ridge, Tennessee, IB3 Global Solutions conducts operations around the world to enhance the U.S. national security posture and minimize radiological and nuclear threats. IB3 Global Solutions. Mission first.
This is Joe Heckman, President of Waste Management at Energy Solutions. Nuclear power is on the rise. Energy Solutions is part of this transition and part of the solution, delivering comprehensive services and assets that support the entire nuclear life cycle. Energy Solutions is protecting and preserving the environment for generations to come.
At Navarro, we partner with our clients to advance technologies and deliver effective solutions for complex challenges in the nuclear, environmental, and clean energy fields.
America runs on power, and for nuclear power, we need enriched uranium, but almost all of it comes from overseas. In 2019, the Trump administration took action, working with Centrus to build the first new American-owned uranium enrichment plant in 70 years. And now, Centrus is ready to expand to meet our nuclear power and military needs, free from dependence on foreign suppliers. Centrus, American technology built by American workers.
Feeling overwhelmed with your business finances? At P&L Business Services, we handle all your bookkeeping, payroll, and tax needs. From federal tax returns to QuickBooks training, we've got you covered. With over 25 years of experience, we provide customized packages to fit your business. Focus on what you love most, building your business. Let us take care of the rest. Call 865-294-4792. P&L Business Services, empowering you to grow your business.
At ORNL, national security is a mission powered by science. We safeguard critical infrastructure, develop isotopes for health and defense, and protect the digital frontiers of tomorrow. In a world of emerging threats, we deliver breakthroughs for America that protect lives, systems, and the future.
Welcome back to Between the Lines. We're talking with the first female chairman in the history of Anderson County on the commission. She's doing a great job. People rave about her. I would like to know, let's talk about Clinton. You represent Clinton. Let's talk about Clinton.
Well,
I can't say too much good about the roads. I just got to tell you, not just the construction down there, but it's taken, what, a year and a half or something? It's just,
Yeah.
you can't get to work, you can't get around it if you want to go to lunch down the street.
Yeah.
I mean, I just wonder how, I'm getting ready to ask those questions, but I'm wondering, is the general attitude, and what's going on good in Clinton? Give me something good.
well, I mean, all of this is growing pains, and we grieve over it right now, but when it's finished, it's going to be fantastic. It's going to be fabulous. We've got landscaping in there. I think there was some asphalt being laid yesterday, day before yesterday. And so it has been a difficult time, and everyone's been very patient and made the most of the situation. But I just think when it's over, it's going to be fantastic. You know, there are a lot of great things that are happening in Clinton. Clinton's going to be
Well,
out of debt.
They always rave about that, but then the dilapidated community centers. I'm going to take
Yeah.
this on in the next 3 months. I'm going to, you know, and that's no secret. I mean, I'm just going to be. I want to ask some questions. It doesn't do you any. I use this example. Debt, having low debt is important.
Yeah.
But having no debt with a rundown community center and something wrong over here and roads that go boom, boom,
Yeah.
boom, although every city's got that right now and everything's, I don't know. It's choices that I think are difficult. I judge every city by this question. How do your 45-year-olds feel? How do young people feel? Is there enough to do? Are they making innovations? Are they
Yeah.
putting things in? And it's a tough question everywhere, Oak Ridge everywhere. But those are questions, I mean, okay,
Well,
I'm not going to pick anymore.
Don't pick on District 2. Commissioner Foster and I both will be on each side of you in stereo there. But, you know, you have to think about they redid the bowling alley in the community center. It's state-of-the-art. They use the string, you know, trying to keep and preserve the heritage, the historical part of it, but also it's updated and it's a nice new bowling alley. We have a new community pool and a splash pad that opened at the end of last year. So there's things coming. It is a little slow. Downtown Clinton is going to be fabulous. Big concert coming up July the 3rd. A lot of different artists. You know, hopefully people will come and eat at the new restaurants. We've got hammocks. I
Love
know
hammocks.
Sabre loves hammocks.
She does love hammocks.
And we've got apple blossom. I know Sabre loves apple blossom
Sabre
too.
just likes food. You see the correlation?
Yes, and Happy Hostess is a great place. I go every week to get a cookie there. It's just, it's fabulous. I think Clinton's got it going on. We're doing good. It's just, we just have to be patient a little longer. And I think on the other end of it, we're going to be really glad for all of the infrastructure, you know, that's been changed, and it's going to be updated. I think it's going to be great, and we're going to attract a lot of business.
I'm going to let that infomercial stand and not turn it into a debate, so.
Thank you.
We're good. And I want to go on the record, this is not a Clinton shirt. It's
That is a Clinton shirt.
That's a Cofield shirt. So it's
We're
Cofield.
going to
My
say
wife.
Clinton today.
All right. Anyway, we're going to keep going with that. So
Okay.
anything new, anything exciting and new, like, is the parks growing in Clinton? I mean, is there anything out in the?
Well, we broke
Industrial
ground.
growth, that kind of thing.
Okay, well, we broke ground on the animal shelter this week.
That is in
We had a
Clinton.
groundbreaking ceremony, and we actually, they started construction, or, you know, the digging, the excavating. When we were out there this week, there were some blocks being laid and the foundation, so.
And where's the animal shelter located?
on Carden.
Another great area of debate, animal shelter.
Exactly.
Go ahead.
I mean, some of the, I guess I just want to highlight that because some of these things that we debated and we've had a lot of criticism over, they're coming to fruition.
Yeah, that's true.
And so there's a lot of great things happening in Anderson County, and I have my moments. I have my days that I'm down in the dumps and I'm depressed. But overall, when you start looking at what is going on in Anderson County, there's no place else you'd want to live, is there? Of course not.
Vale, maybe, Aspen, New Hampshire.
No.
Actually, I've lived in a lot of places in my life, and I love Anderson County. But I would say East Tennessee is one of it, in Colorado. There's a couple of places. Now, I loved Nashville. That's just who I am. I mean, I love Nashville. Culture, everything else. It was a great place to live.
Yeah. Mark and I have traveled a lot too,
Yeah, you
but it's
have.
always good to come home.
That would
I
be
love
true
it
if you
here.
lived out there too. I mean,
Yeah.
but I'm telling you, I tell my people, like my friends who've been doctors, grew up here and other things, a lot of them come back to Townsend and East Tennessee to
Yeah.
retire where they can
Yeah.
have that kind of a lifestyle. So you're right, it is. How is the, I haven't talked to the tourism people in a long time. How is the tourism out? What new things are going on at the lakes or other places? I hear a lot of people have boats at marinas. I mean, in
We
Anderson
had,
County.
oh yeah, so I think it's in October, Bill Dance, there's a big Bill Dance fishing tournament coming up to Anderson County Park. Our highway superintendent, Gary Long, is working on Park Road. It's going to be paved before July 1st, so those folks will have a freshly paved road to come in on. I
Yeah, to go up
think
there.
Stephanie's estimating 200-300 boats in that fishing tournament. So that's, an exciting thing that's
Is
coming
there a
up.
bass tournament?
I
don't know
guess.
enough.
I
I
don't
think
know
it is.
one
That's
fish
our
from
big
the
thing
other.
here. Yeah, right,
But,
okay.
there's long-term camping, a lot of camping there at Anderson County Park. It's a beautiful, beautiful park if it's out there, but it's not too far out of town. So it's nice secluded. I think there's limited cell phone reception, so you get a break from your cell phone and the internet. Anderson County Park's a great park. Other than that, Stephanie's always got things going on. She's always promoting festivals. This July 3rd event that's happening
That's a good
in
thing.
Clinton, that's great.
That's a real good thing.
Yeah,
Clinton's
it's every month.
historic downtown area, not just but just the antiques and all the history there, the Pearl. That's pretty good stuff.
It is.
Because it's the one area of the county, maybe Norris and them too, but it's been there for, I always gave the Appalachian Museum a lot of credit. A lot of people came for that. There's a lot of history out there.
Oh, yeah, and they'll be having a lot of July 4th. This is a big birthday, 250th birthday of the country, so there will be a lot of different celebrations going on in the county. And I think the museum, they usually always have the anvil, where they blow up the anvil. I really wanted my husband to purchase that at the barn dance. They did a door prize, and it was to get to light the fuse. I really wanted to do that, but he didn't think that was a wise idea.
I can see that. I can see why he would say that.
Yeah, I know.
So let's talk about one other subject. We have the best park and the best restaurant than anybody in the eastern United States.
In District 2, absolutely.
I think that's where the land was. But no, it's good. Aspire is just, my friends come here, and the only thing they complain about,
Oh, yeah.
how did you stick it right there on both sides being so run down?
Yeah.
I've been a big critic of not developing the Kmart property and doing some things.
Yeah.
And but if you get to Aspire, so many things could grow around there. You could have things tied to
Sure.
it and other things. But if you get down to what the park is and what they're doing, I'd like to see a little more innovation in South Clinton, but it's a beautiful place.
It is. If you drive through that parking lot, there are license plates from all over.
All the country.
All over
yeah.
the country.
And if you've got
Especially on the
hyperactive
weekend.
children, that's your place.
That's your place.
No question.
Well, my 3 feral grandsons
That's what you call
go weekly. But I have a lot of friends in Knoxville, and some of my doctors are in Knoxville, and they always say, "We've been to Aspire Park. Oh, the food was great," and that's a fabulous place. It is.
It's just hard training Tennesseans to spend, that much money.
Yeah, it's a crown. It's a jewel
no
in a
question,
crown
no question.
of our
One
our
that goes
county.
unnoticed by a lot of people.
Oh,
We
yeah.
start talking about all the great things that are happening. It's going to be hard to ever replace something as great as what Aspire was.
Yeah, but I think it also, it kind of shows us what can be.
That's
you
right.
know?
That's right.
I think
that's what Aspire means.
Yeah,
I
it does. I think it does inspire, people to move, to come here, to invest here. I think it's great.
I think that young people and women, I've said this
Mm-hmm.
to everybody, all the clients, they need more of a voice. You can't.
Yes.
We need young people to get involved and talk about stuff and get it, run stuff and be heads of stuff. And we're making progress.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I think there's a lot of young families that have kids in ball, baseball, football, softball, all of the balls. And so I think they're, that's maybe an area that they're looking to, to enhance, to do better. Yes, there are things that we need to address. There are places that need to be better. But I think we have a good group. I'll just speak for commission. I think we have a good group of individuals on commission that are wanting to do what their constituents want. They want to listen. They want to address the issues, and they're ready to roll their sleeves up and work.
And I tell you, it's much younger than it was 15 years ago.
And
I say that being part of the old sector, I'm just saying, there are those people been around 30 years, really. Mm-hmm.
I've taken some issue with the age thing, and it's probably because I am one. But
we'll get that in our last segment.
We have to have the experience and the wisdom that comes with age. But it is really nice to hear new ideas and different approaches, and just the vitality and the energy that comes with you.
Denise, I have a lot of experience,
Yeah.
But when you get after 3 at-bats, I'm tired. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm mentally tired. We need people that can, like we did, we
Yeah.
can go. You're much younger, but I mean, I could go all the time, you know,
Yeah.
and get things done and volunteer. I mean, I'm out this weekend collecting food from officials to get to pantries where people are hungry and doing something yesterday.
Yeah.
It isn't as easy as it was 10 years ago.
Well, I
Requires
would
a lot.
agree with that.
You know, and Judge Spitzer and Judge, it's a three-team sponsorship and a lot of people participate on all Democrats, Republicans,
Yes.
individuals. But, you know, it's Sabra and it's Daniel Forrester and it's Ryan Spitzer, and the three of them do a great job. And it's more the symbolism of that, getting
Yeah.
elected officials
Yeah.
to kick their $20, $50 in there. And we take $1,000, $1,500 groceries down to St. Joseph's, the big pantry of St. Mary's. And it doesn't matter where you do it or what you do, you just need to get involved. But I find less, I'm probably saying it wrong, but I find cell phones and internet, I find less people engaged in the public at a young age.
Yeah.
They're engaged, but they're engaged, you know, rather than being directly involved in that stuff. And that goes down to, and you know, there's some examples, I mean, that are better. I mean, like, there are some churches that are very involved, but I mean, I don't know. I could ramble all night on that. Just do something, folks. Do something for some
Yeah,
people, right?
absolutely.
Whatever you can do. Where are we going? Where is Anderson County going in the year ahead?
Wow.
Are we going to get, as the commission, are we going to get more new ideas and more things drawn up? I mean, I think you're trying to find your way a little bit.
I think so. So one of the things that we started, you know, in the first year that I was commissioner with this commission that I served with, we started strategic planning. And we started
I remember
having
that, yeah.
a yearly workshops, and we will probably have another one in probably October. But from that strategic planning workshop, a lot of ideas have come out. We know we need to have a growth plan. Growth is coming, so we need to plan. We need to know what our infrastructure looks like. We need to know where housing can be placed, where industry can be placed. You know, we need to just address all the things that come with a growth plan. And so at this workshop, you know, we hear from Dr. Parrott, this school can take this many more students. And then we hear from real estate experts that tell us what the housing trends are. And CTAS and Tyler Mays is now with CTAS. He came and led the last workshop and brought some experts in that area, developing a growth plan.
He does a great job.
He does,
Tyler
he does, and he led us through that. So we have, and I've got those here, both of those growth plans. And so when we look at that, of course, public safety is huge. We've got to make sure that we're prepared for the growth for the people, our fire services included. So a growth plan, we need to also.
Like in West Oak Ridge, infrastructure is the big issue. Can we
yeah.
get water and everything out there to everybody?
Exactly.
And plants are going up like every 6 months.
Exactly. And that's something we have to look at. So I think that's where we're headed. We've got to do that really pretty soon. We also need a capital improvement plan. We've got a lot of old buildings. You just mentioned some of our buildings are really run down. We need to update those. We've got some new buildings, you know, just in the next year or two that we'll see pop up. But, you know, we've got to address some of the needs.
You know, and I'm one of those people that doesn't think the absence of debt is necessarily a good thing. I mean, I
Right.
get the 3%, but my point is, let's say you have a child, grandchild, anybody, and I have a student that works for me, was probably one of the 2 or 3 smartest students in Oak Ridge, is now a junior in forensic chemistry. She works for me in summer times, and in school too, some. And she tries to, but you know what? If her family, who works hard and provided, if they hadn't, well, she was smart enough, she'd have got scholarships anyway. But the bottom line is some kids are just poor, whether they're artistic or whether they're whatever. Like we have the John Shuey Scholarship, which helps young people continue studying music. My wife and I set that up, and that helps a little bit. But I think what we have to figure out is, if you find out your son can get a free education at Rome State or Pell City, or do you borrow $30,000, not 100, but 30, to match Harvard's offers or to match North Carolina's offer? So sometimes you have to borrow money to advance something that's greater than the borrowing. That's my point with cities. Sometimes you got to borrow money and go into debt. Don't have to tax. You just got to borrow your credit rate, and just use that reduced debt to get more, to get to invest in something newer and better. And I think that's a big deal. I mean, look at the Oak Ridge communities and others, 95 million, 130 million, but they've got a deal, they get it for 2-3%. I don't know. I just think some of the communities, I think raving about no debt is like saying, look, we don't have any debt, we sent our kid to Rome State, we did great. The other guy says they got 60,000, 200,000 in debt, but my kid's an honor student at Vanderbilt. It's that kind of thing. And I think blanket statements without explaining don't work for me.
Right.
I think it's great to pay your debts. I really don't have a problem with that.
When we started looking at having a strategic planning workshop, we spoke with the mayor at McMinn County. And McMinn County is a county that is debt-free, and they've been able to build.
Very conservative. I just did a poll there yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
They're conservative.
And they have built huge, nice fields.
Yes.
Softball, baseball fields. They have invested, they have the Eureka Trail that was a Rails to Trail project as well. And they are able to pay cash, and they're able to, not borrow a lot because they've just been fiscally conservative and responsible. And so we can do that. I'm not saying we don't need to borrow money. Obviously, we borrowed money for Claxton School. But,
that's a good example.
Yeah. So, but we need to be smart about it. We need to be wise.
We don't need to borrow money to pay our operational debts.
Yes.
Those operations are different than capital expenditures, and people need to understand.
This is taxpayer money. This isn't my money.
correct.
This is someone else's money. So I'm just always cautious with it. Maybe too cautious,
that's a
but I'm
great
always
thing.
cautious with it.
That's a great, I always loved on this commission, I know Sabre took a lead in this, but the previous county attorney had built in major raises in 22 for the new commission. I think it was from $600 a month to $1,800 a month or something like that, matched up with Knoxville a little bit. And if we had 100,000 people, we would be mandated by state law to do that.
Right.
At 100,000, we're at 81 or something. At 100,000, each commissioner has to make 25,000 or more a year to do the work. And we're at 81. But immediately, the commissioners who came in said, no, that's not fair. We're going to stay with the old one. That's what we were told. That's what we promised. And I think that set an example for, when I was there, they'd have wrote it in the code, how that was. But I think it showed y'all's leadership in terms of not taking money that wasn't transparent, that came that they'd snuck into the budget kind of thing for you guys, which was okay. I mean, it's an okay thing to do, but if it had been 25,000, how many more people might have run, that kind of thing,
Yeah.
So I just think, we're doing better. We're getting more stuff done, and the salaries for the countywide officials have become high enough to get more people interested in stuff.
Sure.
But politics is still a tough business. Most people don't want to get into it.
It is. I've always been interested in government, but I'm not a fan of the politics. I don't think anyone is.
Well, it's just tough. As the salaries get bigger and more people are going to be getting in there, and when they know they can get in there and run. I mean, obviously, I'm probably a major fault of that, but that's still, that's the way it is in democracy. People that can get, we see it on the national stage all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like Congressman Fleischman. It's very popular and it doesn't work, but he's raised $4.7 million in the bank. Somebody comes at him with 200,000, they got a harder run.
Yeah.
And that means that there are things you need to do, and that contributions are also a compliment to him that he's done a good job, and that nuclear people and residents and everybody has been very supportive of him. But I can remember when we got the first election done and with him, and he's going to be 18 years after this.
Wow.
Wow is the word.
Yeah.
That story's about us, not him. He's good. He's about your age. So anyway, tell us what you have learned in the last 2 years.
Oh, wow.
Or last 3 years and a half, and the last 10 months. Is it easier or harder than you thought?
That is a loaded question. It is, the work is demanding.
Yes.
And it is not a part-time job.
No. Not if you do it right.
No, regardless of what some people think, it's not part-time. There's a lot of things to attend. There's a lot of things to research, So I think the legacy part of it, that's been the hardest part for me is, trying to see how did we get to where we are right now. Even though I have a little bit of history there, there was a period of time where I was, not engaged. Right. So that's probably been the most difficult thing for me. And then the politics, just the silos of government, and this is mine, and, don't cross this boundary, and
It's
I
hard
just
for-
want to get the job
That's
done.
hard for old timers. I mean, they get
Yeah,
used to having
yeah.
those silos and everybody going, what do you think, Bubba? Oh, that's a great idea. I approve of
Yeah.
that. Then they go to the other side. What about you, Petey? Oh, I'm growing. I think we ought to make you A and D. And
Yeah.
oh, Petey wants that. Let's do that. And that's true in all counties, a lot of counties. But what happens is young people come in and new people, and they want to get their own stuff going, and they don't want to see a lot of that. And when everything's affected by money, but a lot of old. You're right. A lot of people with experience and tradition, and I don't think what people want to accomplish as older commissioners is bad. And there is some experience there, but I think they're stuck in a methodology. They're stuck in here's how we
Maybe.
did business 30 years ago, and we're going to do it the same way.
Maybe, it's just,
Across the state, I see a lot of that.
right. And I think I think I have a good idea, and I just want to get the job done, and, sometimes you step on toes when you do that, and so I'm kind of learning where not to step.
But the citizens, good, you can maybe share that. But the citizens are, I think they're happy that it's a confrontative commission.
Yes,
Doesn't
yes.
just roll things over.
Well, that's what I hear, and
Oh.
I knocked a lot of doors during the primaries, and that's what I hear. And they are the ones I represent, and
That's
they're the
correct.
ones who put me there, and so I like to ask a lot of questions, because I really want to know.
And it's interesting because there's a group on commission, mostly the 3 or 4 women, a couple others. Oak Ridgers tend to be in the middle somewhere, and I just think the world of Phil Yeager.
Yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
there's some good commissioners in there. I don't, there are people like Aaron Wells who love the community. I think Anthony is vested in the community. I think other people are in their ideas, but they don't really get into the county fights much. And I think but they're bringing some vision to it, and they're doing some things. And I always felt, being involved in the process, I always felt if it's a county issue, you need to let the county people
Right,
lead. I
right.
mean, that kind of thing. As
Well-
long as it's within the model of what you want to do. A, we're not going to raise taxes. B, we're going to do this. C, we have this contract. What would you like to do? I don't like that contract. Well, that's past. We're done with that.
Right.
That kind of thing. So that was the biggest thing being in the mayor's office that I always felt was and you were there. I mean, very, very difficult. And but I think Rex did a good job of setting up the system of here's the limit. You can forget it. I'm not getting into tax increase. That first year was just incredible in '98. But I think that Terry Frank's done a good job. She has rules, and she has, she's going to follow those rules.
I think so too, and we have a good commission.
I do, too.
This
I
has
think
been a
so.
good
Better
commission.
than a lot of them I've
Yes,
heard.
we've worked well together. We've got some experience there. I think of Dr. Smallridge, just a steady, calm voice. I think Shane does a great job chairing the budget committee, and he's doing a fabulous job. When some
And there's
of the other
always
committees.
4 or 5 commissioners you can't make them happy. It
Oh,
doesn't
yeah.
matter what it is.
Well, maybe, but I think we all have good discussions. It's a good commission. I enjoy having Shelley and Sabra beside me, and Ebony. Ebony is a delight. She's talking about a handbook to help us, new commissioners come in, because
It's a good idea.
yeah, absolutely.
I don't know what to put in it, but it's a good idea.
Yeah, so she's very good and contributes a lot. So I'm just thinking around the table. I know
Sure.
I've missed some people.
No, they're all good.
But they all are doing a great job.
takes
and
time to do those
It
things.
does, and I feel like we work well together, and we're kind
I
of
do too.
moving.
I do too.
Everyone wants to do what's best for the county.
People always pick at new leadership, see if they can break it down. That's
Yeah.
just part of it. It's not personal.
Yeah.
They just do it that way. And I think
Yeah.
you guys have done a great job. Of course, I'm married to one of the gang, but I mean, Sabra, nobody researches and is prepared better than Sabra.
Oh,
They don't
true.
exist. And you and Terry, let's give Terry outside
Oh,
the committee.
absolutely.
Just a
Terry's
great group
a
of people trying to
visionary.
do the right thing. I'm glad you came. You had a lot of good insights. We could take 2 weeks to get it all out.
Yeah.
But you were great, Ms. Chairman. I appreciate you. And we're going to keep going with people. Thanks for
Thank you.
watching. See you next week.